Okay, we're going to look at rounding today. This is part of the 1.1 number standard. It's one of the skills that you can be awarded if you show consistently throughout your answer that you are using sensible rounding. So there are two forms of rounding. The first one we're going to look at is decimal places. So we call them DPs, rounding to 2DP. We might round to 2DP, especially if we're talking about money. We've got to remember that money actually has cents, 1 cent or 0.01 is actually an answer. We don't round to 10 cents just because we have 10-cent pieces. If we get bank accounts and things like that, they do actually have, and when you're looking at amounts in the supermarket, they actually do have 32 cents, even though you can't physically have 32 cents. So we need to be careful that we round to two decimal places accurately. Okay, let's have a look. So if we've got 21.76528, all right? If I want to round this to money, I would be looking at rounding it to two decimal places. To do this, I would put my line, because I want to look at it, so I'd look at this number here. You don't have to do this in the test, but you need to think it in your head. So I need this much, two decimal places, but I'm looking at the third decimal place to see whether I need to round up or not. If it's 5 or more, I need to round the one in front. It is 5 or more, so therefore I'm going to get 21.7, and 6 plus 1 is 7 to 2DP. If I was rounding this number to 3 decimal places, I'd count to 3. So maybe we're not talking about money anymore, we might be talking about length. And this number tells me I don't need to round it up, so I would get 21.765 and leave it as that. Now the trick comes when the number actually requires you to do more than just add 1 to the number in front. So you might have something like this, and you want to round this one to 2 decimal places. All right, it's made a bit trickier because of that 9. So I'm looking at this one. It says, yes, add 1, but I can't add 1 to 9 to get 10. So I wouldn't write 2.910. I need to look at this as a whole number, 2.99 plus a 1 in this position, or 100th. So if I add 1 here, I need to add 1 here, I need to go here. So it's going to be 3.00 to 2 decimal places. And I need to put those zeros in if I am actually saying it's to 2 decimal places. Now, significant figures we use in a different way. We're actually talking about just having an important number of numbers. So we might have something big like at the cricket there were 56,328 people. But we actually aren't very sure about the 28 people. That's just what the gates have said. Somebody could have jumped over it. So we don't want to be that accurate when we're reporting on it. So the reporters might say, we've got only, and they only use 2 significant figures. So if they're using 2, we count any number from the beginning that is not 0 at the leading, all right, because it's not significant, it's just a placeholder. So 56 is our first 2 numbers. Look at the next one. It's less than 5, so we don't increase it. So our answer is 56,000. So the paper would write 56,000 people. That could be anywhere between 55,500 and 56,500-ish. All right? So we've rounded it up to the nearest 1,000 people, or down. So when we have a decimal, we might get, we want to round this to, so that's 2 sig fig. We might round this to 2 sig fig. This is significant. Now, it's only a significant 0 because it is actually between 2 other numbers, so we know it's 0. This one's not. It's a placeholder. So we start counting here. 1, 2. So our 2 significant figures here would be 3 and 0, and we need to figure out whether we need to round up. We do not need to round up, so our answer is 30 to 2 sig figs. That tells whoever is looking at it that it actually was a 0. All right, it wasn't anything else. It rounded up to a 0. In this case, it rounded down to a 0. All right, so that's how significant figures. We count the numbers that are not leading zeros, that are not following zeros. So this is 2 0. They're placeholders. This is a placeholder at 0.000. They'll be placeholders until we get to that first significant number that tells us about the size of our number. All right? Have a go at that.